Thank you for visiting Broken Lullabies, my first solo show at Ro2 Art Gallery in Dallas, Texas. So the idea of Broken Lullabies came from this notion that lullabies is something that is soothing for us as children and creates a sense of safety. Yet there comes a point when this, safety that we perceive as children is broken. And what I'm interested in is not so much in the breaking of it, but in what happens after. And so the afterwards, in some way, we are to spend our lifetime recreating our identity out of pieces that sometimes are not supposed to go together, but this reconstruction of oneself after this broken safety is what I'm interested in. So memories and experiences are held in our bodies, and this is very much a big part of my work, giving the voice to the body rather than the head, because this is where everything remains. And so you can see in this particular figures the eyes on the breast and the mouth on the stomach, and that's the idea of telling the story. And also the observation and being observed and observing oneself being observed is also very much part of what I'm thinking about, especially as myself for female identified person. This idea of gaze and being looked at and looking back is something that I think about a lot. Grackles appear a lot in my work, and that's part we're in Texas. Grackles are everywhere, and these are our urban creatures that are constantly surrounding us, looking at us from the rooftops, from the restaurants. So they are witnesses to us. And there's something about them that is also mythological and mystical, and they're survivors. And I wanted to incorporate them here and turn one of them is in the centerpiece of this show. So here again, this idea of body being the storyteller. So I wanted to create this work and put it in the form of the body. So all of these different portraits, they're part of one big whole. In some way, they're self-portraits, different times expressing, different stories, but they really created one cohesive story. And a lot of here, what I was thinking about was, transition from one part of life to another, also of death, because my mom died when she was my age, and I was 19. And so, this idea of, what is happening when one transitions from, being young to middle age, from, being alive to dying, and also from being a kid to adolescent, because my children are now becoming adolescents. So this is also something I think about when I'm creating this work. So animation is a very big part of my work, and I started with paintings, and then those paintings turn into animation. Sometimes they turn into sculptures, also performances. And so, I think of myself as a painter trying to push painting into different realms. And here you can actually see the animation that's being played in the background became the kind of the origin of the music box that I'm about to show you. So it's a way of telling stories. So through all of the medium, the main idea is to tell stories. So here you can see music box that is based on the animation that you just saw. So the medium really informs each other. A lot of things that start with paintings, they become animations, then they become music boxes, can then turn into sculptures, into performances. So my medium really informs each other. And again, the storytelling is at the core of all of these works. I hope the viewer leaves with permission to embrace complexity. And I'm really interested in how things, even when they're broken, can be combined into something new and something perhaps even more beautiful than the original form.